American authority would be weakened, and as they gain more strength in their own economy, they are going to reject American, I don't want to say bullyism, but the American authority overmuch exercised on the European will. Then the race for the markets, if not an internal race between one country of Europe and another, it would be a race between America and Europe as such. And then on the other hand, America would bypass Europe and bring Japan closer to itself, and Korea, and some other Far Eastern countries, to offset the loss of its authority upon Europe. So there are very grave efforts to be witnessed in the near future, whereby the economic solution which they have found is going to turn into an economic problem for the entire world. Then Russia is next door to us. Russia cannot be absorbed into Europe as a single European entity, completely losing its identity. It's not possible. Russia's history has always been independent. When there was British Empire, there was also Tsarist Russian Empire. And they always go along with the other smaller states around them, comparatively small states, but very powerful states economically. And they cannot survive economically without interdependence on each other. The industry throughout the communist period has been so well planned and designed, or badly planned and designed, that one part of USSR is the productive part and the other part is the industrial part. So they cannot survive independently of each other. Raw material comes mostly from Muslim states, and the food also comes mostly from Muslim states, Kazakhstan, etc. And they are manufactured and processed industrially in Russia, not in USSR as a whole. Of course there is industry everywhere, but I'm talking of the highest concentration of industry to be in what we know as Russia, a state within USSR. So they are going to come into their own after a while, after surviving the shock of the change in their economy. They will ultimately settle down. Another nucleus would be created next door to Europe with a very strong economic machinery, so powerful that they can't realize at this moment actually how powerful that machinery is if put into operation. Because the economic machinery of USSR is highly technical. Technicality, if you speak of technicality and scientific education, Europe cannot compete with USSR in the area of fundamental industry. They can compete, of course, with USSR in the sophisticated items of daily use, in the production of such sophisticated items as excellent clothes, most beautiful cars, comfortable this and that. Russia can't beat with them. But per capita, Russia has far more industrious economists, scientists, as well as technologists in Russia, in USSR, than any country of other country of Europe, or even if you put their might together, still USSR has an edge over this. So once their economy falls into steps, then they are going to turn into a very powerful economic machinery. Previously, it failed to produce impact because most of the production of the industry was directed at war machinery. If there is no threat of war anymore, as it will dissipate naturally within the next few years to begin with, then it will come back later. But this initial removal of immediate threat of war will give Russia ultimate advantage to divert its industry to other common day-to-day usage of the Russians themselves. They have been deprived of this. This is why there is so much suffering. But no more so. Already the shift is taking place. So these and so many other factors speak of a gloomy future in relation to the immediate advantages which we can see and which some of which I have counted. Right?
Thank you very much.
But why should you be interested in this question of Europe, while you should have paid more attention to the unification of African states, which are fighting with each other without drawing any cue from their history, without drawing any lesson from their history. They're going fighting each other inside and outside. Gosh, what's happening there? Right?
Next time maybe I will come to Africa.
By the time you come to Africa, I hope Africa will be left. The way they are destroying each other, unbelievable. How the Sierra Leoneans are cutting the throats of Sierra Leoneans. How the Nigerian society is divided into warring factions on religious plane, on political plane, on economic plane. You know, things are happening in Liberia, have happened in Liberia and other parts of the state. What is happening in Zaire? These are very serious problems which are very close to the edge of the precipice. Then the moral the moral destruction of the society as a whole. Truth is fast disappearing. Integrity or honesty or trust are evaporating very fast from African soil. And again, unfortunately, AIDS is spreading like wildfire in many African countries. So all these are factors which should, which should create a sort of panic among the Africans living outside in apparent isolated piece of Europe. It's a very serious question I have raised. I want to draw the attention of all Africans living in Europe or America or other Western countries to forget their own personal advantages and return to their country deprived of all resources, even the human resources. The best they produce of scientists seeks employment elsewhere in the advanced countries. So it is Africa far more to be worried about than anything that may happen to Europe. Right?
Thank you very much.
So the next questioner is Aisha Amrut from Hanslow.
Yes, Aisha, you're most welcome. Where are you? I don't see any lady responding to your call. So
unless the word is
might
Aisha.
not have come. Huh? Is she an English lady with a Muslim name?
Yes, she's Muslim.
Pardon?
She is Muslim, but she's not Ahmadi.
Of course, that's not what I asked. I said, is she an English lady?
No.
No.
She's African.
Acha, okay, African. But she has not come, so turn to the other next question. Pardon?
I don't know if she's Chinese. Next time.
Okay, all right.
Then the next questioner should be, and I have to get this name pronounced properly now as well, is Marhalim Amir from Gloucester.
Pardon? What name did you say?
Halim.
Halim.
It's called Halim.
Right.
Assalamu alaikum.
From Scotland. Assalamu alaikum. Yes, please.
Yes, Gloucester. I'm